While the elections in KwaZulu-Natal were peaceful, some areas in the province were flagged as high risk in the run-up to the elections. 200 extra officers were deployed in May and a further 300 during the election period. After the election, about 26 parties, including the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, have lodged objections with the Electoral Commission over the election results. Former President Jacob Zuma said just before the final declaration of the results last Sunday that it would be a provocation of his MK party if the IEC went ahead and declared the results. Police say although the latest deployment of additional police officers is part of the post-election plan, they are not ruling out any possibility of violence that could emanate from displeased parties.
The concern from society remains there, and we have to make sure that we satisfy the public by giving them a guarantee that law enforcement is quite alert and ready to act should anything happen. That's why we have these numbers that we have on the ground. That's why we have the military that is also deployed in the province. That's why you've got air fleet that we can move forces from one area to another. That's why you've got these big intelligence deployed on the ground to be able to listen to anything that is happening all over, so that we can be quickly informed, then we can respond with speed should anything happen.
The security measure has been welcomed by political parties.
You've never had any case of Umkhonto weSizwe where it's been involved in such events of a violence. So that is why even now we are saying to our members, they need to remain calm and be peaceful, because all what we're waiting for now, since there's been some objections that have been made, so obviously we need to wait for our Commander-in-Chief, the President himself, Jacob Zuma, to tell us what the next step.
The Democratic Alliance welcomes the announcement that there will be additional security forces placed on the ground in the province in the run-up to the inauguration of the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Legislature. Our province has a terrible past, political intolerance and violence, so this is certainly to be welcomed. And we hope that those forces have the necessary intelligence coming through from the ground. So if there is any unrest, that it can be dealt with swiftly. Also call on all political leaders and all parties to remain calm and to do what's in the best interest of the province and the people of KwaZulu-Natal.
But political analyst Professor Bheki Mngomezulu holds a different view.
I have serious concerns about this KZN particularism or exceptionalism. That whenever there are elections, then we anticipate the worst of KZN. This election is not an exception. Before the election, there were talks that there might be violence in KwaZulu-Natal. The question is why particularly KwaZulu-Natal? Even though there was no violence, now there are anticipations that there might be violence now that we have 26 political parties that are disgruntled. So that is not going to assist us in terms of nation building and social cohesion.
The ANC has declined to comment, saying it will only address the media after its national executive members have met, while the IFP weren't available for comment. London, SABC News, Durban.